Welcome to Season 3 of the Casual Camping Podcast, your home for the best camping discussion both in and out of the field. Here are your hosts, Tim and Ade.
Welcome, one and all, to the most excellent Casual Camping Podcast. I'm Tim.
You are, Tim, aren't you? Well, that must mean I'm Ade. Welcome.
Oh, hey! Ha-ha. Welcome, everyone, to the virtual camping field that is Casual Camping Podcast. Here we are again with another sunshine episode in the deepest, darkest, cold nights that we've got here in the UK. But we're going to bring a little bit of sunshine to your dirty little ears.
Oh, yes. I'm envious this week, Tim. I'm envious.
Ooh. Why?
Well, you know how we keep on getting sort of people messaging us going, oh, yeah, listening to you guys is costing us a lot.
Yes.
Well, long-time friend of the show, Matt, has gone out and bought my dream tent. Tent.
You've had a lot of dream tents over the years.
I mean, yeah.
Most of which you've bought and then sold for the next dream tent. But what's the current dream tent, Ed? Come on, tell us all.
It's the Hollow Wild Machu Picchu tent.
That's easy for you to say. Hey.
Did I pronounce it right?
So has Matt bought himself a Machu Picchu?
He has, yeah. He shared that he's going to have a new tent day.
Best day ever.
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. I think what I love about that tent, it looks like a kind of MASH army tent. You know, MASH, the TV series.
Yeah, up-to-date TV references always.
Up-to-date TV reference. And it's also airbeam, which I've been wanting to get my hands on an airbeam tent just to see what it's like. But I think we saw it at the show last year, and and it stuck with me all year.
Yeah.
My Snow Peak massive tent that I've got is so similar.
It really is, Ed. It is. You don't need this tent.
Shush, Tim, shush. Let me just say. But it might be a bit too big. This feels like it's about sort of 20% less. It's, and it's airbeam, it'd be easy to pop up and stuff. They also do a shelter that you can attach to it as well, and front windows that I just think, it's a cracking tent. There's also vents for putting your solar panels outside and trailing the wires inside to your power pack. There's a vent for your stove. There's a window. There's windows everywhere. It's just well done, Matt.
Yeah,
I'm not envious at all. Jealous.
You are well gel, as the kids say. It is an awesome tent. We saw it at the Caravan and Camping Show earlier in the year, didn't we? All the way, way back in February, March time, whenever that was.
Yeah.
And it was a standout tent, wasn't it? Really, it was really cool. Came in sort of that MASH army green, and also came in a jet black.
I think I like the jet black, but I don't. I've had a black tent. I've had a couple of black tents, so I think it's just something I like. And it's different, but I just think, yeah. I
was just going to say, with the black tent, I just thought it was too dark inside. I just thought it was so zapping, and that was under show lights, big bright show lights. You'd be forever using your head torches and everything in that. So I think he's made made the right choice. The right choice going with the army green, khaki green, I think. Cracking. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, as our listeners have pointed out, it costs us a lot to listen to you guys, meaning us. It could be right back at us, I think. I do like the event shelter that they do as well, which I think also stands alone for a bit of winter camping with a hot tent in as well,
Oh,
with
yeah,
hardly any sides. But
yeah.
you pay as
He's,
much for that as you do the tent. So
Gosh, well, I believe he's now shopping for a tent stove.
oh my God, he's having the best life.
I know. He's literally living his best day, and he's just
Oh
like,
my God, he's got a new tent turning up any time now, and he's shopping for tents. Ah,
yeah, yeah.
ah.
Well done, Matt, for ruining Ed's Christmas, because nothing's going to
Ah.
compare to that.
But as well, he shared it, and we all get that. We know exactly how excited he is. So,
Yeah.
actually, thanks for sharing. We want pictures, we want video. We just, yeah, I'm involved.
Yeah, totally. It's we are emotionally invested in all of our listeners' purchases. So whatever bit of gear you guys and girls are buying out there, share it on our Facebook group, share it in our socials. We want to see it. Everyone wants to see it. The old line that we've said is still true. If one of us is spending, we're all spending.
Yes. Yeah, it's the secondary sort of feeling, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
just know how good that feels when something turns up. Is the
Oh.
postman here yet? It's like Christmas, but like for adults.
Yeah, totally. Oh, these are just toys. These are just really expensive toys.
Yes.
I'll be really interested to see though how an air beam hot tent actually stands up, because the changing in temperature for the beams, of having such a hot tent, such a hot stove inside there. Does that affect the pressures of the air beams, or is it not so significant? It's just going to be interesting to see how he gets on with that, because I've not known anybody actually, you know, have an air beam hot tent yet.
Yeah, I've watched a few videos on YouTube. So Hollow Wild, who are the makers or distributors here in the UK, they've got some videos up online on YouTube about how you put it up and how you put it down. I've watched that a few times just to get my little fix, you know, almost my little sort of heroin kind of thing of, oh, it'd be really nice if that was in your garden.
Oh God,
You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
tent porn, Ed. That's what you're talking about. Tent porn. Ooh, look at the size of them air beams.
I've got. Have you seen that book that you can get called Cabin Porn? Nobody's done one for
Yeah,
tents yet,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's coming. It's got to be. I might have to write it, I think.
Oh, I think you do. I think you do. I think you do.
How many put two balls?
Semi-geodesic.
Oh.
Oh, that was too much. She's gone.
When you need to have Velcro pants on.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh,
Anyway,
anyway.
we digress. The other thing is, Richard has also purchased a tent. I had to remind him that
Yes.
he said like, "Oh, I've got to pick it up because I'm too cheap to pay for postage," and I was like, "We're built differently, mate." Because I'd be like, "Is it not here yet? When are you putting it in the post? Why has it got to wait until tomorrow?"
I drove to Milton Keynes just to get some extra bits for my stove. It's like I ain't waiting. I'm driving. I drove an hour and a half just to get a bit of pipe. It's
Yeah.
yeah, he's bought
Yes.
an emperor canvas tent, hasn't he? Which is similar to like a bell tent, but it's got like the flat side to it on the front.
Yeah.
And an extra wide front door, and it's a monster size, but it's beautiful tent. I've seen those a few times, and they were at the same show actually, weren't they?
They were, yeah. So that's the Quest, which is the same
As
brand as your
my windbreak.
your windbreak, which I was mightily impressed with that. I know I'm going to be mightily impressed with Richard's
Yeah,
quest.
he's gonna want to steal my windbreak, isn't he?
Uh, so, no, what Richard will do is just turn up and go, "Oh, somebody just threw that at me and said, I don't want this anymore." How he gets all of his stuff. I can't wait to hear
Yeah,
how, yeah, how many strings he pulled or whatever it is. He's the fixer.
he is
I'm
the fixer. He
envious,
is the
Richard.
fixer.
Well done.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful tent it's got there. Can't wait to go camping and see it in the wild. It's, but yeah, what are we what are we meant to be talking about today, Ed? Because
Well, I know.
we haven't started.
We have started, Tim. We're always starting with tents.
Hey.
Well, so I've had a glimmer of an idea about something that I think has gone on from being around charity shops in the UK, finding things, people going, "Oh, Ed, here's some camping stuff. Oh, what about this? What about that?" And I've got I go out and buy the things that I want, and yet, I love the fact that there's loads of camping stuff out there. So, I've started to buy a few bits and pieces. I think the Army Surplus episode that we did, we got a real load of feedback about how good that was and
Yeah.
how, lots of people really engaged with it. And so it's not a fully formed idea yet, but I wanted to talk about the fact of maybe a swap shop for kit.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Because
a
I've got a lot of stuff. And I've got a lot of stuff that some things I sell, some things I don't, some things are not worth selling and whatever. And other things are actually, I won't get the price for that. So I don't use it anymore, but I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Things. And so I was thinking of, hey, well, actually, you go camping with mates. You meet up with people. You've got friends that are less well equipped, more equipped. And so the idea is developing because I was thinking, actually, you're having a camp meet with a load of people and then you bring some stuff and you go, right, okay. Do people want to buy it or do people want to have it? Do you want to do it? Or is it more a bartering thing?
I like the idea of bartering, really. It's instead of like a bring and buy. Do you remember Blue Peter? Blue Peter in the UK was like a kids program, wasn't it, when we were growing up? And they used to always do a bring and buy to try and raise money for some, I don't know, charity that they were doing. And people would run their own bring and buy sales. So everybody would bring something and donate it. But the idea was that you would also buy something. And in the end, everything would be sold, which is great. I mean, you could do bring and buy, but I'm a big fan of the barter system where actually let's take cash out of this and you bring me something. And if you like something on the table, well, let's see if we can, do a swap or, if you've brought something that's not quite the same value, well, what else have you got? Swap us a couple of things for what you're after. And I like that. I like that idea, Ed. I think it's a sound idea. We could do that in we keep talking about having meetups and we've still not got around to it, and we're at the end of season 3. But if we ever get round to meetups, we could do that. But also, we go to a lot of festivals and we go to a lot of camping shows and things like that. It'd be great if we kind of branded that up as a casual camping podcast, swap shop table.
A swap shop, a donation, you don't need anything, but you've got a load of old kit that you don't want. Where was it was Lavu on the farm?
Yes.
And the guy that had the old tents that you bought one of them.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Imagine if you got a couple of old tents and you're like, well, you know what, they're not for sale, but what have you got? What have you got that you are willing to part with?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just think something like, a bit of a festival, instead of there being like loads of shops that are all trying to sell you £400 knives and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a lot of knives. Most of them I want to keep because you never have enough knives. But there's a couple of knives that I'd be like, yeah, okay, actually, I could put some knives in that. I've got cutlery. I've got more sporks than anything else. I've got fires. I've got stoves that I don't want. There's pan sets. There's,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's loads of things. And I just think in maybe a festival setting, a stall that goes back to bartering, and you go back to your tent and go, well, I brought that with me, but I don't really use it that much. I know I'm going to go chat to them tomorrow because there was a cast iron pan that I really, a skillet
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. And not even like, oh, what have I brought that I could swap? The greatest tool that we always talk about is knowledge and skills, and particularly at things like Lavu and the Bushcraft Show and Bushcraft events. People have got tons of skills, and they go, well, I really like that pan. Why don't you come for an hour and I'll teach you how to do this, bow drilling, or
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to flint
Sharpen
knapper.
knives properly. There was an
Sharpen
old
knives.
guy there at the
Oh
Bushcraft
God.
Show a couple of years ago, and I wish I'd had a lesson with him because he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
just brilliant.
That was mesmerizing, wasn't it? Was
Yeah,
that
it really was.
Phil Horden? I
Oh,
might have got the first name wrong, but certainly Horden. I'm sure it was somebody Horden who was. It was just mesmerizing watching him. Clearly massively at ease in his own skills and in his own world,
yeah,
chatting away to a crowd of people around him while he's just sharpening somebody's knife and putting an edge back on it. And it was just like I could literally watch this for ages.
yeah,
This is minute mindfulness right now. I'm in the
yeah,
zone. It's but yeah, exchanging skills. We've obviously
yeah.
got no skills to exchange.
But I want to, it's a thought there, and you listeners, set you the challenge to, come up with some ideas or, locations. Is it something that you can do with your friends? Is it something that you need a wider, sort of larger event to do? And then, actually, when you go to any events, there's a charge for the stall. If you're not actually doing if you're not selling anything, then you start at a deficit, don't you? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of wanted to get that out there because I'm quite interested in that whole thing. I'm a junkie for gear and I love it and I buy it, and some things I'm not willing to part with and stuff, but other things I am. And I'm not just talking about the bit, just stuff that I don't use anymore that I just think, well, I've not used that over 2 years now, so am I going to use it? I've got a tent that I've not used for a year almost, so.
Well, the thing is, you and I, we don't buy tat. We tend to buy quality gear, don't we? That we
Oh, I
really.
don't know, Tim. I've seen a couple of bits of yours and I've thought, tat.
You, you, you bastard!
I'm only
You
joking.
Which bits? Which?
Hammock.
Yeah, the hammock's definitely going on the table.
Yeah. Hammock tat.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
thank God
yeah.
I could remember something. I was
Bloody
like,
hell,
ooh.
yeah, thanks.
Well, bell tent. Oh, I've said too much.
Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, you've said too much. I can mute you.
This week's brought to you by Tim.
Oh, God. But invariably we buy, whether it's your kind of thing or not your kind of thing, as in like the listeners, we buy, it tends to be quality gear, it tends to be from decent manufacturers, decent build quality, good materials. and we look after our stuff. So actually, if we were to put like a stall out or something like that, you kind of, there would be no guarantees included in any of this equipment, but you are kind of guaranteed a little bit that actually it's going to be equipment that will still do the job that it was intended to do, and it'll do it
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's
But
yeah.
that's the thing. Knowing, right. So here's another thought then as well. So, and you can tell listeners that we're spitballing here, but it's an interesting thought, I think, and
Mm,
worth trying to persevere with. So, if you knew that you were going to an event where there's a lot of people and there's a stall that is a bartering thing,
mm.
would you go and buy something, or would you find something and you think, well, you know what, actually I'll take that along? Might not be your own kit, but you might have bought something to go along. I think that is
I think there's a bit of fun
there's
element in
a
that.
lot of fun
There's a
with
lot of
that,
fun in
isn't
that.
there?
In that, I don't know what I'm going to find on that stall until I'm stood in front of it, and if they're not going to take cash, and I've got no skills to kind of say, come and spend an hour with me doing something, that sounds dodgy now, but you know what I mean. It's
In me tent.
yeah, in the woods. Oh, God, free hugs. Oh. Just sounds dodgy. Come and spend an hour
Stop
with me.
talking, Tim.
Okay,
Stop
okay, okay,
talking.
okay. But it does sound. It sounds like a fun thing that you'd kind of want to have. You'd want to have. It's like having a lucky dip almost, isn't it? But you can't have a go if you haven't brought something. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
actually, yeah, if I went through my garage and went through all my stuff and thought, actually, I'm still I still want all of this, and not everyone out there is like you and I. They don't have tons of stuff. I absolutely would be having a look on eBay to find something that I could just bring, that I could buy cheap,
yeah,
bring and barter, or I'd get round the charity shops and see if there was some camping stuff, cast iron skillet or something like that I could pick up and bring along, because you'd want to have a
yeah,
go at that, because you'd be gutted if you had a look on that stall and went, "Oh, I really want that. How much is that?" And you went, "It's not for sale. You've got to give me something for it, and
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
nothing." So absolutely, yeah, I would be making sure I brought a couple of pieces with me. That what's the worst that
Mm,
can happen? You just take them home again.
yeah,
I um, I think it's a really cool idea, and you've had this, Ed. I haven't had this idea. This is entirely your idea, and I think it's a genius idea. I love, society is all around money at the moment, and I love taking the money out of everything, and let's just have a bit of bartering. Let's just set something up and get back to a bit of humanity, and I've got this, I want that. Can I swap that over? And if that's not enough, well, what can I do to add to it to make it the value that you want? And
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. And like I say, I don't know how, if you were going to a festival, imagine that you were at something like Glastonbury and stuff. Um, yeah, I'm not sure you get away with it there, but those more
yeah,
camping things, we all take far too much stuff. We all go, "Ooh, okay, well, what would you take for that?" It's like, well, what have you got?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we all as consumers, and I think we are consumers. I wish I wasn't, but I know I really am, because got that magpie in me of like, "Ooh, look, new shiny, in a different color. Oh, it's exactly the same as what I've got, but I still want it." Um, there is that. Uh, but there is also the fact that, I really wish that I wasn't like that, taking it back. And certainly I think camping and being out in
Mm,
nature does that a little bit more. So,
yeah, totally, totally. That tent that I bought, it was a fraction of its original cost. Yes, it needed some work doing to it. It needed cleaning, re-waterproofing, re-stringing. Um, I massively enjoyed doing that. That was such great. And then I've taken it out in the field, and it performs brilliantly. And that's a Vaude tent that
mm,
Yes, I had to give cash on that occasion, but it was a fraction of what it would have been. it was great. It was great. And you might have stuff on a stall like that does need a little bit of TLC, but actually that's also part of the fun, isn't it? Of, well, I've got something, I've now got to tinker with it to make it spot on. And
Well, I can't give you money for it. Right. Okay. Well, what can you do? Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Well, quite hungry at the minute. That pizza over there looks tempting.
Right, now I get it. Now I get it. This is just your way of not buying any beer or food, isn't it? You're just going to bring a whole table of stuff and you're just going to go, well, if you buy me a beer.
I'll gladly let you have it for, say, 3 beers. What you drinking there, buddy? What's in your cans?
Oh, man.
Oh, God, we've lost
man.
it, Tim. It's gone downhill.
Oh,
Okay.
it was such a good idea, Ed, until I realised it was you.
Maybe food. Well, it was you that started going skills, and I've just gone to food and beer.
Oh, funny.
What?
Funny.
What have you got? I'll take your Land Rover for that skillet. But the thought that I've had isn't about enriching what I've got. It's almost like a service of, like a community kind of hub of, right, okay, we're here for a weekend. People are looking around the shops. They're buying £400 knives. They're looking at the forge and the guy that's sharpening stuff and the fancy clothes that are all there. And it's like, right, okay, well, actually, I've got a pair of Fjällräven pants in this size. Do you want them? We don't want any short legs.
Yeah, you might need to turn these up a bit. Well, I've watched a lot of sort of bushcraft and bush people sort of shows. There's a lot of communities in like Alaska where this is how they live. They barter part of a deer for a day's worth of work of chopping down a couple of trees. Or there was one program I watched where there was like a junkyard, but it was a junkyard where they didn't want any money for it. You had to give them something to take something out of the junkyard, and
Wow.
and it was just there are a lot of communities out there that's how they live. That's how they support each other, and I think the camping community is like that. We are all kind, like-minded folk. Somebody struggling with a tent. People do come over and go, "Can I help?" It's. I think this would be a perfect thing for the camping community. I agree. I don't think it would work at a music festival. You'd have to really think about what stuff you put in on the stall for that. It's and I think a lot of it would probably just get nicked. But the camping community and the bushcraft community are very, very different. They're very different kind of people, really. And I think they'd view it as a fun game that you'd want to kind of play. Let's come and have a look and see what's on there. Because those people that do barter something, well, that stuff goes on the table. So you'd start with a load of stuff, but within a couple of hours, you could have changed 30, 40, 50% of it to something else. So you'd constantly have to keep going back to have another look to see. I wonder what Ade's got on his table now, because there was a crowd round there earlier swapping stuff. I think great idea, Ed. Absolutely brilliant idea.
Yeah, well, I think both the Lavu on the farm, there was a stall on there that just had knickknacks and old pans and stuff like that. There was the same at the Bushcraft show, but that was more kind of antique-y stuff. They had like bedpans and lots of kind of antique-y things as well, and hammers and axes and scythes. It was really, and I just thought, actually, how refreshing would it be to just think, well, this is in order to get something of those. And it just starts to challenge people's perceptions of not just always having to spend money, that,
Yeah.
you can swap things out
Yeah.
and get back to some of those. I think an interesting thing anyway, it's not a fully formed thing, but I'm going to copyright it, listeners. So don't be like stealing it. I don't want a US version of this.
I think it's a great idea. I think the struggle will be, all of those festivals and things, all of the stalls on there, they pay a premium, don't they, for having the right to just stand there. So what you're asking for is really an event organizer to recognize the joy in having something like that in their arena,
Yeah.
at their show, in that actually it's not going to cost any money, it's not going to take any money, but it's a piece of entertainment essentially.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
having an event company able to see the joy in it and think that would be a nice thing just to have here. And
Because
be
they'd need some promotion before the event, as in,
totally, yeah.
you know, this is, and you know what? I mean, you and I generally, I'm not saying that I want to stand up and do this, but I suppose it's my idea, so I've got to.
Yes, it
But,
is.
yeah, but the whole thing of, I've been to antique fairs. I've dealt with wheeler dealers that are just very obstinate, and no, that's worth that. I'm gonna get so much for it. What? It's worth 10 quid, but actually I've got £300 on it, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be that. We all know the intrinsic values of some things. Essentially, if you've bought something for a certain amount of, most people kind of understand that, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, they do. They do. It's it's getting completely away from the needing to make a profit. If say if we go to an event to run a stall like that,
Yeah.
we'd be self-sufficient. We'd have taken all our own equipment, we'd have taken all our own food and drink and everything else. We're just running that as a bit of fun, really. And
Yeah.
we're
Imagine
not,
if it really took off on the first day. It was like, well, Tim, I'm not really sort of sold on taking anything more of mine. We'll have to take your stuff.
well, my stuff's all crap, apparently.
Event organisers know that there was an awful lot of thievery on the third night just to keep a stall going.
But as I say, that's the beauty of a store like that, because actually the vast majority of people, to take something away, have to give you something. So you're only taking from those people something that you can put on the stall and someone else might want. So it would be, you'd start with let's say you start with 50 items. Chances are you're going to have a constant 50 items, but there'll be a constant rolling different 50 items on that table. I just think it'd be really interesting. It'd be a stall at a show that you would go back to, every couple of hours to have another look. It would be one of those, and
I think
I
an
love it.
interesting,
Yeah.
yeah. I do go around sort of antique fairs, go around charity shops, and you see quite a lot of old stoves that people either haven't loved or just whatever bits miss it. I don't know. There's those
Yeah.
things, and I think just knowing that there was either a stall like that, be like, I know I'm going to pick something that up, or people can even come down and go, like what you're doing, I'm just giving you this.
Yeah.
Add this
Yeah.
to your stall.
Yeah.
I don't want anything for it. You just have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great idea. So then, listeners, if any of you know of such an event that we could trial this at next year, 2026.
Wait, Tim, I'm getting nervous. I've not had any beer tonight. What are we asking?
We want to have a go at this, don't we? We want to.
My shyness comes out.
Oh, get away, get away! 2 beers in, your shyness is no more. It's it'd be a laugh if nothing else. And I think somebody out there must know an event that that might want to take a punt on something like this and view it as a piece of entertainment and something a bit of fun and a bit different because nobody else is doing this
Yeah.
and the camping
And,
community doesn't have to always be about trying to make a massive profit and fleece people. You know, we've done episodes on the cost of camping. You know, it's rocketing. We've talked about the cost of a bag of wood and how ridiculous that's getting. Well, let's try and actively swing this round and do things that have got no money involved and no cost involved. Let's try and share the love for a little bit and just have a bit of fun. I love it, Ed. I think it's a great idea.
well, I think there's a lot of thinking to do about it. I truly want listeners to get involved. Maybe let us have some ideas, or there's even things for manufacturers or people that might want to who want give us stuff. Tim, if nothing else, there's those bags that we got from being press at the last show.
Yeah, let's go to a few shows, Ed, and just get a load of press stuff, and then we can put that on the table. It'd be interesting what's in North America, really, what's in America and Canada, because we've got listeners that go to Renaissance fairs, as they call it over there, and do they have stuff like that there? So they're like our equivalent of bushcraft shows and things. It'd be really interesting if there's like barter stuff that goes on at shows in over the other side of the pond or over in Australia. It's wherever our listeners are. They are all over the world. Still not in Antarctica though, but I'm pretty sure they're not bartering for stuff in Antarctica. They're probably taking everything they need and they're holding on to it.
Yep. Yeah, I think they would. That as well as, picking up penguins and stuff.
I give you 3 penguins for that bottle of vodka.
Yes. Well, an interesting thought. I think it's got legs. I'm not sure where those legs will carry it, but it's a thought. And maybe you as a listener might know somebody. Get on and do it. Steal our idea, but give us credit, okay? Come back to us.
Oh, you see, that's the ultimate barter there, Ed. You've just given that away. You're full of.
Well, I wasn't 5 minutes ago.
I know you were.
I was like, credit to us. By the way, actually, it sounds quite scary. Maybe somebody else would like to do it.
Oh God, cool. Should we have a minute mindfulness?
Yep.
Welcome to the Casual Camping Minute Mindfulness. Let the sounds of nature take you back to the camping field.
Fab. I have been. I do listen to the episodes again. I know I kind of listen to them when I'm editing them, but I do always make sure that I listen to them as well. And I do always listen to the Minute Mindfulness because actually I'm often in the car and it's really quite nice to. Last week's was like tweeting birds and stuff and in the trees and that. And I think you'd recorded that live, and it was just really lovely for just a minute while I was in traffic in the car. It just kind of was like, yeah, that's chilled me out a bit actually, and it worked a treat. So it was right good.
I often wonder whether or not people do stick around for it. It's something that we started right in the off, more so we're talking about camping and as a reminder to get back out there, and you
Mm.
might not be going that far, or it might be a while until you're back in the field again. It was that reminder, and we call it a minute mindfulness because, we talk about mindfulness an awful lot in society these days. But it is that reminder, I think, to take a break, remember, maybe just go book somewhere and get out in the field as well. So
Yeah.
it is the winter season. Those minute mindfulnesses are on every episode. You can go back and listen. Pretty soon, me and Tim are going to take a break, and there are well over 100 episodes that you can go back to. Some great ones, you know.
Yeah, some that are all right.
Eat, each to their own.
Yes.
We're just ever so grateful that you tune in either weekly or on your commute. I think the biggest part for us is the interaction, and let us know what you think about this episode.
Cool. Well, nothing else to say, I suppose, other than I've been Tim.
And I've been Ade. Have a good one.
Casual Camping Podcast accepts no liability and does not officially recommend any products or endorse any techniques discussed in an individual podcast episode or shown on Casual Camping Podcast social media accounts. Individuals should make their own informed decision and risk assessment of any products or advice prior to any purchase or use.